Greetings and blessings on this Friday, St. Paul's. The daily lectionary psalm for today is Psalm 16 and 17. Psalm 16 begins as following. Protect me, O God, for I take refuge in you. I have said to the Lord, you are my Lord, my good above all other. What a wonderful day it is to be God's people in the world. Monday is the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. But I'm assuming, or I want to guess, that most of you know that today, January 15th, is his actual birthday. He would have been 92 years old today. As we go into this weekend, I think it is important for us to remember not only the type of service to which Dr. King dedicated himself to, but those who he walked with, who he supported, who supported him, the cause for which they were fighting at the time seems to be a continued fight even to this day. The fight for justice, equality, and equal recognition of all people, not only under the law, but in the eyes of our fellow citizens. I think that when we hear the words of this morning's psalm, protect me, O God, for I take refuge in you, I think it is one that we want to ring out in the mountaintops at the top of our voice, not because we want God to protect us from death, because sometimes that is the place where we will end up, but even more importantly, to protect us from the fear of not doing anything. In other words, the fear that paralyzes us and does not allow us to move, to do what is necessary to bring about the change that we know needs to be brought about so that justice can ring loudly for all of God's people, not only here in this country, but in every single corner of our planet. My belief is that fear is probably the thing we need the most protection from. And I can only imagine that Martin, Dr. King, and his friends and colleagues at certain points in their journey were afraid. How couldn't you be afraid when threats to your life were being hurled on a daily basis towards you? They could see how people who were marching and manifesting in different parts of the country were being beaten and killed, incarcerated. Of course, fear probably overcame them sometime or another. But I also know that there were people of deep faith, people who commended themselves to the protection of God so that they could go about doing the ministry to which they were called, with the Spirit of God strengthening them to be able to overcome those very fears. I think we can take inspiration from their example, because indeed we are called to continue in this struggle. Because we may not like it, we sometimes find it hard to recognize. But equality for all of the people of this country has not yet been achieved. There are still those who are downtrodden. There are still those whose personhood is not fully acknowledged and respected by all of its citizens. And therefore, we are called upon to speak up, to walk, to march, and to do the things that need to be done so that the civil rights of all the citizens of this country will not only be legal, but enacted and respected by all at all levels of citizenry and responsibility, from police to senators to the President of the United States to our fellow everyday citizen. Let us continue to do the hard work that needs to be done so that justice will reign in all of God's kingdom, and specifically in our time and in this place. Today is Friday, and therefore I would like to remind you of what's happening here at St. Paul's this weekend. Tomorrow we have happy hour at 5 p.m. via Zoom link. Then on Sunday at 8 a.m. we have our said morning prayer, followed at 9 by coffee hour via Zoom link. Then at 10 a.m. we have sung matins. This Sunday, being the third Sunday of the month of January, we also having our annual parish meeting, for which you would have received an invitation to register already. Among other things, we're going to be electing new vestry members this Sunday, and we have 3 persons nominated for vestry that I hope you know and recognize as committed and devout members of our congregation. Flarney Adams, formerly known as Flarney Marcham, Scott Buckingham, and Lane Sierick. Please join us for all the things that are happening in the life of this, our parish, and may you have a wonderful time celebrating the holiday of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King on Monday. Blessings, St. Paul's.